Hey everybody, what's going on? It's dark as hell in my room. There we go. My beautiful room. But I'm home right now, so I figured since I'm here, I can enjoy a beautiful bowl of delicious ice cream and give myself a review and unpack this, which I'll be showing you guys later on. Sick. That was sexy. Now that I've finished that delicious bowl of ice cream, I can talk about Civil War. I'm sitting in a very tiny chair, but I've seen it twice already. I gave a lot of my thoughts on the Hybrid Network podcast, which hopefully I'll be able to link below. But I love the movie. I thought it was fantastic. There are probably gonna be some spoilers here, so I'll just tag it now. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing a non-spoiler review. If anyone watches this in the first place, I'll just be surprised. So anyways, very quickly, just going kind of through the movie from start to finish, and just how characters are handled. Jesus, I am so scatterbrained for this movie. But Scarlet Witch really kickstarted this whole shebang, so I can understand the idea of people being afraid of her. I can understand why that was a very important plot point, because she did really fuck up hard at the beginning. I did wonder why they didn't send anyone like Vision over there, considering he's super robot and can phase through shit, so he could just phase through, got the bioweapon and just went away. But it is what it is. But I still heavily enjoyed this film going, with the Sokovia Accords and everything. It's kind of like this was the final straw for the Avengers. I can see why. It's not that they didn't admire the fact that they owe them a great debt, but that there's still issues on the planet, and the fact that a large majority of the world agree with it. I think there's like 250 some odd countries and 117 signed this kind of agreement. Have this. Oh my goodness, shut up. But to do it, so yeah, I had to go with Tony on it. As much as I agreed with Steve on an emotional level, being realistic, Tony was right. You know, should have signed the Accords. Just to really, if they want to retire, they could just go dark. The Avengers, at the end of the day, still have a choice. Yeah, they're a private organization, but they have a choice. They kill people actively. They're not Superman or Batman. They don't really have no killing codes aside from maybe Spider-Man in the future, who I'll get to in a second. So after everything with the Accords, and then Bucky coming back into the picture, Bucky was very good. I was surprised at first because I thought they were going, the rumor that I heard, that there was maybe going to be a clone Bucky, which I wasn't sure how they were going to work that in. I didn't think that would work, but I was much happier to see that it was just Zemo behind it. I liked Zemo as a villain, by the way. I like the fact that he was simple, and he did a much better job of breaking up the Avengers. I like him a lot more than Loki. I couldn't get on the Loki hype train. I thought he was a fine villain back in Avengers 1, but for what I'm just going to start calling Marvel Civil War, even though it did have a very good focus on Captain America and his emotional story, and it did focus on him a lot, it also was pretty fairly balanced. There's a lot more balance than the Civil War comic is. For both opinions, you can see what their motivations are, but I'm seeing a lot more people coming out of the film saying, like, Stark was right, Stark was on the right path and everything. And I agreed with that kind of from the start. I was with Team Panther initially because I love Black Panther, and I didn't really care for the little dispute between the two of them until I actually heard a snippet where they explained the Accords. I'm like, I see where Tony's coming from. So I leaned more towards his side, and I took quizzes, and it's like, yeah, you're Team Stark. I'm like, yeah. So Bucky hiding out in Germany, and them handling Zemo and everything. It was well written, action-packed. Seeing that another stairwell fight, just kind of like Daredevil. I don't know if they talked to him about it, but that's just a funny little coincidence. Short version. Scarlet Witch causes tragedy in Lagos, which is in Africa. So they have to sign the Sokovia Accords that are about to be ratified. They go to the UN. T'Chaka dies in a massive explosion. T'Challa vows to get revenge. So, you know, going, they realize it's Bucky, who it really wasn't. It was some guy that Zemo framed to be Bucky. He was wearing prosthetics. So Bucky's on the run. Everyone's chasing after Bucky, including Cap, but Cap wants to get a hold of him before the government does because they're told to shoot to kill. So Cap has to form his own little team to try and get to the bottom of it. Turns out there are other Winter Soldiers that are much more deadly than Bucky is. They want to get them before Zemo does to kind of unleash them on the world and start taking down countries in just like 1 week spans. So they meet up, have the gigantic, beautiful, fucking beautiful airport fight. That was incredible. I loved every second of it. Everyone was like evenly split. They weren't even balanced right, but it was just so beautiful. We got to see what happened to Rhodey, and there was actually Vision that did it. Was shooting after Falcon. Falcon, being a not idiot, dodged the shot, but it wound up taking down Rhodes, and they couldn't get to him in time. After that, they wind up finding Zemo, finding Russia. We find out that it was actually... So if you know Agent Carter, or you know Iron Man, or just like little nods or cameos that they may have done throughout the series, you know that Tony Stark's parents are dead. And you know... if you dug a little deeper, that they died in a car accident. We actually see what happens, and it all comes kind of to a head when we find out that Bucky killed his parents, and that Cap knew. So, rightfully so, Tony just, all bets are off. This is no longer a political fight. This is a, you killed my parents. I'm not happy about that fight. And I agreed with him. I felt kind of hypocritical, because Cap is doing this entirely emotional too. He's like, you know, this is my friend, and I have to do this. And Tony's like, so was I. Oh, one more note. The trailers are actually pretty misleading, and I like that about the movie. A lot of the ways the lines were delivered in the trailer and in the actual film, or ways they were edited or whatnot, was not actually how they were shown. And it actually worked to the film's benefit for, like, in context, the emotion behind it. It was great performances from everybody. But... like, gonna talk about the three really big breakouts is Ant-Man, who did Giant Man, who was fantastic. It was incredible to see that on the screen. Just see him turn up that button on the Mac. So it's nice that he has a new suit. Instead of it just being the little circles, he actually has a little digitizer thing on one of his wrists now. So that's really cool. But my two biggest ones were characters. I've been a big fan of Black Panther as of like the past year. Kind of when I heard the announcement, I started doing research. I'm like, oh, this character's really cool, and I started reading all his books and stuff, and now I review them. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And Spider-Man, you know, everyone loves Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, just like any other person. But Black Panther was handled solidly, perfectly. I love the way they did it. I love the accent. I found out the Wakandan they speak there is actually a legitimate language in South Africa. I think it's called Xhosa, if I'm saying that right. It's like a clicking noise, but I don't speak it. So, but I think they handled the calmness of him, how collected he was. I like the fact that he didn't have any quips, that he wasn't like jokey, that he was on a mission, that he had one goal, that he was focused. I really like that. As much as I love quips in Marvel films, I like the fact that we finally have a serious character. And Spider-Man was Tom Holland. He killed it. He did a fantastic job. Even Tobey Maguire agrees. He said he did a great job. Like, I loved him. He was great. They got how super broke Peter Parker was. They got their relationship. They got his creativity. They got the responsibility thing without even fully having to say it. And I think all of that was great. Even as Spider-Man, he was great. Like a lot of people, I can understand why they were disappointed that the new Spider-Man is not older. But I think it works if this is the MCU's first outing. They have to start with Spider-Man's roots, and Spider-Man, who was hanging out with all these adults who are normally older than him, he was a little kid. He was a little kid when he started. He was like 15, 16, and here he's about the same age. But they also got his proportionate strength. He's super strong. They got his reflexes down, except for one scene, but that's because he was too busy. He ignored it basically. I just love the way they handled the character. Even with that little after credits scene with the spider symbol and the little things, I'm like, are they making specific ways for him to change his web cartridges so that like it'll be straight shot or web shot or parachute or whatever the fuck, boat like in the 60s? Because that was really cool. I really want to know what that was. But it was great to see. I'm super excited for Homecoming. I'm super excited for the Black Panther solo movie. I'm intrigued to see Ant-Man and the Wasp moving forward, but kind of, yeah, once everything is said and done and the Avengers are kind of broken up, and just kind of seeing where they lie. I want to see where they take these characters, which we won't know for a little while, because next up we have, we won't find out at least till next July, because we have Doctor Strange come up next, and then I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and then Spider-Man Homecoming next year. I think those are the two, before we have Infinity War Part 1, or whatever they're changing to, Crusade, Gauntlet, whatever the hell, or Thanos Rising, whatever the fuck they have coming in 2018. But I'm glad this isn't the last time we see them, but I'm glad that we're not going to see them for a while. This is the note that they went on, and it's a really, really high note. Like, they're not dead and gone, but there's a lot of things that have to go on. The world keeps on spinning. There's other heroes to introduce. There's other characters to do. And I'm really excited, and this film was great. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you go out, see it, if you can. Like, this is something I've seen twice, and I paid for it both times. It actually got better the second time, and I'm not usually one to see movies more than once, but this movie did it. I do want to purchase this film. This is a great, great movie. I really like the writing. I really like the way they balanced and handled the characters. It was really, really good. So yeah, that's enough fanboying. Let's see what this is. Zentai-zone. I think it's, if it is what I think it is. I think it's my Spider-Man suit. So, hold on. So I'm partially in the suit. It's actually not zipped up in the back, so I'm gonna go and try and fix that real quick. So the gloves are actually pretty slippery, but I'm liking the suit so far. I'm actually trying to look at these panels. It doesn't look that bad. The back is wide open. I gotta figure out how to get these zippers. Currently I'm alone, so I'll have to figure that out another day, but otherwise the suit is pretty good. I like it so far. I have to play around with it a little bit, maybe cut and edit some things. Ugh. Ugh. Hold on. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna breathe. Oh, crazy. Magical. But yeah. Let's see. My fingers fit the gloves. Not too bad. I certainly myself need. Sorry, I'm pulling the gloves down. Need to get used to it. Very interesting suit. It's holding everything in. Keeping my body really tight, but I like it. I got it from zentai-zone. I may have to go up a size. I'm not sure. I can't go down my back, but I'll see. Maybe I'll post an update or something. But yeah, it's a pretty good suit. I'm digging it. I wish I could have the back zipped up so I can already really felt it so far. It feels pretty good. Little feeties, almost dropped it. But yeah, I like the suit. Ignore my dirty room. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share it, do whatever you want. But yeah, so catch you guys later. That was such an ugly face. Later, guys.